Queen Elizabeth symbolised a sense of Britishness according to GB News guest, as the show reflects on the last 10 days of mourning and what the monarch's 70 years on the throne meant to Britain. On Sunday evening, the eve of Queen Elizabeth's funeral, news presenter Dan Wootton and journalist Laura Dodsworth reflect on what Her Majesty's passing means to the British public. GB News guest Laura Dodsworth reflected on the Queen's death and what she represented. Ms Dodsworth said, "Queen Elizabeth was also the best of British. She represented the face we were proud to represent us on the world stage. There's already been so much said about all of the values that she embodied, such as duty, service, religious belief, good sense, good humor, but she was more than that. She symbolized more, you know, she was the unchanging portrait that hangs in the village hall or the church. She's Christmas Day speeches and bunting. She's bank holidays and fates. She symbolizes a sense of Britishness that I think people are worried is passing." GB News reflected on what Her Majesty's passing means to the British public. Image, GB News/Getty Images. GB News reflected on the Queen on the eve of Her Majesty's funeral. Image, Getty Images. Dan Wootton asked the journalist if the emotions that people are feeling, and the desire to queue up and share in this experience, in this mutual grief, that is real? The journalist replied, "She was a queen, she was a mother, a grandmother, but she's also been the ruler of this country for many decades, so people feel this, not just at a conscious level but also on an unconscious level. People need meaning, they need things to create meaning and to represent meaning in their lives. Rituals are hugely important for human beings, especially those rituals around birth and death. It's no surprise to me to see millions lining the streets and millions will be watching around the world." Read more. Harry and Meghan dealt major blow after royal family snub. Laura Dodsworth said the Queen symbolises a sense of Britishness. Image, GB News. King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla have both paid tribute before the funeral. Image, Getty Images. For the last 4 days, Queen Elizabeth has been lying in state at Westminster Abbey and the British public has been queuing to view Her Majesty's coffin. The last of the public onlookers will see the Queen at 6:30 a.m. on Monday morning before the lying in state officially closes for the funeral. King Charles has said he and Queen Consort Camilla have been moved beyond measure at the public's response to the Queen's death. He said, "Over the last 10 days, my wife and I have been so deeply touched by the many messages of condolence and support we have received from this country and across the world." The King added, "As we all prepare to say our last farewell, I wanted simply to take this opportunity to say thank you to all those countless people who have been such a support and comfort to my family and myself in this time of grief." Don't miss, Queen beams in unseen portrait as King Charles thanks Britons. Reveal William seen ahead of final public appearance before Queen's funeral. Report Anne and husband Sir Tim share no exchanges for key reason. Expert, insight. Trending. Queen Consort Camilla has also paid tribute to Queen Elizabeth, and said, "She's been in our lives forever. I'm 75 now, and I can't remember anyone except the Queen being there. It must have been so difficult for her, being a solitary woman. There weren't women prime ministers or presidents. She was the only one, so I think she carved her own role." Queen Elizabeth's funeral will be shown live on BBC One, ITV News and Sky News for those who wish to watch the proceedings at home. Parks across the country will be putting big screens for those who wish to attend, including at London's Hyde Park, Edinburgh Holyrood Park in Scotland and Coleraine Town Hall in Northern Ireland.